Hello, whoever you are. Welcome. Hi, Stephanie. Welcome. You're in Turkey? Oh my gosh. How wonderful. You are the world traveler these days, aren't you? My goodness. Well, have a good time and be safe. I'm just kind of doing a chit chat today. No auction. Next week, I'm going to have the anything bags. Excuse me. I just didn't have time this week to get them all made. Are you there with a friend or are you by yourself? Hi, Myra. Welcome. I'm just doing a chit chat today. I asked if anyone had any questions or any topics they wanted to discuss. And I only got one that you can ask in here. Someone asked what kind of makeup I use. And I will answer it when more people come in. But I said the only topic, well, two topics. We don't want to talk about the C word and we don't want to talk politics. Other than that, can ask questions, talk about anything. I know those other two subjects could get pretty difficult. And I like to avoid drama. There's enough of it nowadays. So, Stephanie, how long will you be in Turkey? How are you doing, Myra? I thought we'd have a discussion. I was going to show the progress on my junk journal. I just did a video this week on it, and I did work on it some. I was going to show that. And like I said, anything anyone wants to talk about. And then next week, I'm going to do my, and it'll actually just be a buy it now on my anything bags by myself, but joining a small group in Sicily. Oh my gosh. 8 to 10, 11 people. How wonderful. I'm so happy for you, Stephanie. You've come a long ways. See, life gets better, doesn't it? Sometimes we go through hardships, and we can't see the other side. But when we get there, we think, wow, it's good. I'm very happy for you. Well, I only will see Sicily through someone else's eyes, or pictures on YouTube, or I'm not a world traveler. First of all, don't have the finances to do it. And then I don't think I would be even if I did. Hi, Amy. Yes, Amy, hardship suck. But you know what? Sometimes when you go through them, like I said, when you get on the other side, you think, wow, it was better than what it was when I thought I had it good. You just never know. I know. I've been through a lot of those hardships. I didn't get to the age that I am without. Eventually, everyone goes through hardships. Some maybe more than others, but if you live long enough, you're going to go through them. Out of here tomorrow, though I have liked it and enjoyed it very much. Sicily is my, yes. Hi, Hetty. Welcome. Yes, you are a true Italian, Stephanie. I'm Italian, 100% Italian, but I really haven't, I don't know. I admire my ancestors and all, and I moved away from my family in Northern California when I was like 26 years old. So I wasn't around the Italian people. And my first husband, the father of my children, is German. Although he did like Italian food, but he is still, I think, a meat and potato man. Yeah, hardship is part of life. I have always believed that here on earth is like a school. We have to learn before we get on the other side. We have to learn, and sometimes with trial and error. And when you think back, how many bad choices have we made that caused a lot of our hardships? Yes, it's true, Stephanie. Polish, German, French. Oh, wow. Wow, you are a mixture. Well, both of my grandparents came from Italy. Can't think of the island my dad's, but my mom's side of the family were from Sicily, where Stephanie's going. I know they used to have this little argument, which one was better. You know how families are. But my mom and dad used to kind of argue over that. True Italians. Oh, I will go look, Stephanie. My schedule is, I have a crazy schedule for an old lady. I try to, check on everything, but and I just opened a new buy and sell group on Facebook. The other one, I started off, you could post buy and sell on it, but the format is better if I just keep it as buy and sell instead of talking on there. So I opened another group. Yeah, no, I couldn't afford to go actually to another state right now. And I have no desire. I've lived in Northern California, Southern California, Oregon, Nevada, Idaho. Been to North Carolina. But I have no desire really to travel. And I didn't when I was young. I'm kind of a homebody. But I think it's wonderful. My son and daughter-in-law love to travel. That's what makes life interesting. We're each unique and different. So I admire people that like to travel. Anyway, I was kind of waiting I always come on a little early. So the lady who sent a question about what kind of makeup I wear. And actually, I don't spend a lot of money on makeup. I buy inexpensive stuff. Years ago, I've tried more expensive, and to me, I get the same results. So I kind of stingy with that. There's other necessities more important. But I do like my makeup. I've worn makeup since, all through high school. Probably started in 7th or 8th grade. And I'll show it a couple times. I don't know if anyone's seen my junk journal video. I appreciate it if you'd go watch. And if you watch the advertisements, that's how I earn money. Hi, Deb. Okay, I did a video a couple days ago. This is the cover of my last junk journal. I've made maybe 5 or 6, 7, I don't know, I've lost count. This is decoupage. And I just wanted to show you, now this is not even a fourth of the way finished. I just added these pages that have nothing in them so far. But let's see here. I made all this, and this is for you to journal. When I'm doing my DIYs, I'm in a different area and I'm on the table, so it's a little easier. Oh, your mom didn't let you wear makeup until you were 16. Oh, and here's the butterflies. I love butterflies. Here is another place to journal. I love making junk journals, but I'm really bad at getting around to journaling, and I need to start it. But this is just the beginning. I've got so much to do. Yeah. And I'll show it again in another video where you can actually see it better. But I think they're fun to make, and you can use your imagination. And anyway, when I get through with this, it will be full, and I will be putting more pages in. See, these, I do them individually. Well, they're not like there's what, 2, 4, 6, about 8 pages. And in my video, I showed how I put the pages together. And like I said, they're fun to make. And they make lovely gifts. You know, you can, and I do different themes, like I did a couple of Christmas ones. And what I like about it, say you get your special cards, or like you have a poem or something, that normally you would just throw in a drawer and save it. You make a junk journal, put it in there. These make great coffee table books. Thank you, Deb. So you didn't wear makeup until you were 16, Stephanie. Oh, wow. I started wearing makeup probably when I was 13, 14. And I had really thick eyebrows. And they still get thick. I just have to trim them down. But when I was growing up, thick eyebrows were, although I think they're coming back, or some women, I don't like the real thick eyebrows. Oh, good, Hetty. You started a journal. They're addictive. Hi, Chris. Welcome. Yeah, once you make your first junk journal, and you just, they're so much fun, I think. Hi, Jackie. Good to see you. Yeah, and then, like I said, this week I did just a short DIY on this junk journal, and I will be updating as I finish this one, and then I'm going to do a jewelry art one. I want to do a fall leaf to match my pumpkin, since next month's Halloween. So I will be doing that. And all this week I'm making anything bags. I'm hoping to have quite a few for next week's sale. I've got some pretty cool fabric. Anyway, the lady who asked about makeup, I had stated in one video that if you have a subject you want to talk about, or if you have questions to ask me, even about me, if I think they're too personal, I can say no, I won't answer. But anyway, I'll just give you a quick rundown. I don't spend a lot on makeup. I use Pond's cold cream. Buy that at Walmart. Buy this at Dollar Tree, and I love this Dove. This is Wet n Wild. I use that. I put some blush and some powder. I use that and that. I use a 24-hour, this is my favorite, Super Stay 24-hour lipstick. I love this. It doesn't get lipstick all over your coffee cup. I use a mascara, and I buy cheap stuff. I don't have a certain brand of mascara. And that's, I think the main thing is keep your face clean. Oh, Deb, I'm sure you miss her. Yeah, I like Pond's. I mean, like I said, I've tried some of the more expensive, when I had more, in the days when I had more money. I didn't see any difference. I think sometimes you're paying for the name, the brand. And I use Pond's, and I don't know, some of you know how old I am, but I am 80 years old. And I've been called a liar for saying I'm 80 years old, but I really am, and I'm blessed. Gifted a jar of donkey milk cream. Can't wait. Oh my gosh. My gosh. You got to let me know, Stephanie, what that stuff's like. I think the main thing is, too, when you put your makeup on, to make sure you don't go to bed with it on, your face is clean. Although, good genes as far as skin and stuff run in my mother's side of the family, because she died at 98 and she had very few wrinkles. You'd never have known she was 98 if she would have colored her hair, but my mother never colored her hair, never. And I won't let mine go gray because my skin is very, very pale, and gray hair would look terrible on me. And I procrastinate. I do my own. I used to have it done but it's in California, it's outrageous. Just to get your haircut's outrageous. So I do my own. Donkey milk. I'm going to have to look that up. I never even heard of donkey milk cream. I get that about gray hair and washed out, right? Yeah, I did mine yesterday. I hate when, it's got an inch of gray on it. Like I said, my skin is really pale for an Italian, and I have Mediterranean anemia. It's called thalassemia. And so my skin is pale. Thank you, Chris. But my grandpa, who came from Sicily, was blonde-haired and blue eyes. And my grandma was dark. She was short and dark. So part of the family has really, really light skin, and part of the family has dark skin. Although my mother always told me I looked like my dad's side of the family. So, and they actually were smaller people. But I think I don't procrastinate about anything, but coloring my hair I do. I hate doing it. It was much nicer when I could afford somebody else to do it for me. But just to get my hair cut. Now, I chopped on the top myself a couple days ago. The last haircut cost me $75, and all they did is wash, cut my hair, and, style it. That is outrageous. I don't think, Hetty, watch some of my videos with the jewelry art. I don't think it's hard at all. I think I'm so fascinated with it is once you place your centerpiece, and that's what I show in my video, it's like your imagination just starts in and the colors and the texture, and you look at it and you might put a piece in and then look at it and think, I don't like it there. And you move it to another place, and it makes you creative. I love it. If I had more time, I think I would do one of those. I mean, I would do it every day. Takes a long time to finish a project. I've made a lot of them. I've only sold one, and it was the custom order. I've never offered to sell the rest of them. I've given some away as gifts. But I made a cross for a lady who was dealing with cancer. And if I remember correctly, I think I charged her $40. But you don't do those in a day or two. You put hours and hours into them. But I love doing them. I don't paint the wood, but you can. I what I do is I do a 3D effect. So what that means is I put maybe a solid piece like gold tone, silver tone on the bottom, and then I put my more decorative pieces or the bling on top. So it's how I was taught to do my lighted Christmas tree big frames. That at Christmas time you'll always see one back there, and so I use the same technique. Oh, thank you, Deb. But go back and watch. If you're interested, go back and watch those videos. And I do appreciate it. It does give me watch time. And if you leave a comment, it counts. It's funny. I happen to know a couple of people who are leaving me a thumbs down. But what's really funny, it doesn't hurt us. It actually, YouTube counts them just like the thumbs up. So it's kind of funny. But yeah, I get lately the thumbs down on some, it's ridiculous. But like I said, I have a strong suspicion who they are, and it doesn't bother me a bit. In fact, I just don't even show them anymore. Once I go back in and I know how to remove them. But anyway, if it makes somebody happy, that's good. I like happy people. And if they want to give me a thumbs down, so be it. Yeah, I have quite a few videos on DIYs for the jewelry art. I don't know, Deb, why they do that. Because if you don't like somebody's video, just go watch someone else's. Oh, thank you, Jackie. I'm so happy that you like that. And I always say, or somebody leaves a nasty comment, I just remove them. Although I can't complain. I haven't really had that many. So I can't complain. But the thumbs down make me laugh. I think they don't hurt us a bit. YouTube doesn't look down at those. So I just decide, well, if it makes them happy, then more power to them. Now, I know I've gotten several messages. Hi, Pamela. I've gotten several messages, because of 9/11, there's some memorial type gatherings today. So I know there's a few people that won't be here. I didn't even think about that, but this is my Saturday spot. And so I wanted to keep it up. Like I said, I don't have enough anything bags till next week. So I will have a buy it now type. In the anything bags, I usually sell the average size $15.95 plus shipping, and a real large one. And I've made a couple of really large ones, and I sell them for $19.95. So they'll just be a buy it now. They make lovely Christmas gifts, birthday gifts. Besides, and I changed the name. I used to call them makeup bags, but you don't have to put makeup in them. You can put, you can put your medicines, you can put jewelry. A lot of the people that bought them from me bought them for Christmas and then had things they wanted to put inside to make, a really nice Christmas gift. Does anyone know if I can buy harvest color faux flowers for outdoors anywhere? You might look on Amazon. I have been looking on Amazon. I got this harebrained idea that, I set 2 Christmas trees up for Christmas, and my small tree, I put the red trucks. I love the red trucks. And I've done a Victorian tree for, since the 90s. And I decided I'd like to do a tree with all flowers. Just set flowers on each limb. So I've been, probably my best bet is to buy them from the Dollar Tree. But I just, I know Amazon's got some beautiful ones, and they're not too bad in price. I looked at Michael's online, and I thought the price of the flowers were ridiculous. So I'm going to see about the color. I haven't decided the colors. I seen a really pretty teal one. But and you can buy like on Amazon, like they have lots of 25 and lots of 50. But I think after my live today, I'm going to go over to the Dollar Tree and just see what they have as far as size goes too. And that's where I always buy my flowers. And I know right now it's the fall colors, so I kind of had this crazy idea too that I would do each level a different color. Yeah, Dollar Tree always has this year they have a great selection of flowers. And I might even do, when I get them, do a Dollar Tree haul and show the flowers that I've got. But you can't beat the price at $1. And you get like sometimes you like a little bunch, like there's 3 or 4 flowers on each stem. Of course, mine doesn't right now. Well, I have a Dollar Tree that is less than 3 minutes from my apartment. But the one I really like is a little farther away over by Costco. And it has, it's about 3 times larger than the one close to me. But we still have a lot of flowers. But I noticed that the seasonal things are selling so fast. Like most of the Halloween stuff's already sold out. So people are really buying things up really fast. But I'm gonna, like I said, there's a fish place right next to the Dollar Tree, and I'm thinking about after I get off, I'm gonna go buy me some fish. I just bought a good sized fake pumpkin at Target. Oh, I like Target. It's just not as convenient for where I live. Yeah, can you believe that, Hetty? We don't even have Halloween yet, and they've got Christmas. And you know what? People are buying that stuff up. I bought 2 little pumpkins at the Dollar Tree, and there's none left. Hi, Sharon. Welcome. I'm good. How are you? It's good to see you. like I said, I've gotten a couple of messages that people apologize they couldn't come in because of, um, memorial services, 9/11, and I understand. So I didn't expect a big crowd today, but I did want to come in and just talk for a while. And you guys, if you have a certain subject or if you have questions to ask me, just ask. And I know Selena is kind of tied up with her new granddaughter. She weighed, I see, 8 pounds, 2 ounces. And she is just gorgeous. Saturday is pizza day for my son. Oh, wow. Pizza day is always good. Yes, and baby is very, very healthy, beautiful. And she's a little chunky little girl. And Rylan is just being the sweet big brother. He is just so happy with his sissy. And I don't know where Susan is, Susan Ironside. She sometimes, unless she puts a reminder on, she forgets. Is that ground zero new? No, was it beautiful? Well, I have, it's weird. 9/11 for me. And I wrote it on my Facebook page. 9/11, my husband was in, he was on hospice. Excuse me. He was in a hospital bed in our living room in Nevada. And he had some moments of real confusion, and he heard this on the radio, and he was making some stupid comments, but it was, his brain, his cancer metastasized from the lung to the brain. But he died 8 days later after 9/11. So between the two, and it was, he actually did pretty well with his cancer, except the last 3 months were really rough. And rough on me because I slept on an air mattress, me and my dog, in the living room because he did not want to be alone in there. And I'm sorry, but I was so happy to get back into my bed. The air mattress was not that comfortable. And I can't believe, he's been dead now 20 years. Wow. And if I remember correctly, he was 64. A long time ago. Yeah, there's a lot of things about 9/11 on Facebook today. What was it? I think 3,000 people died. That was very, very sad for our country. I think, Sharon, you're right. I think it's just like, it's funny how when something just sticks in your mind, it's like when President Kennedy was assassinated in 1963. I remember exactly what I was doing. I had put my 2 kids down for a nap after lunch. I was watching As the World Turns soap opera. And I don't know if anyone remembers that. And I remember they interrupted the program and said that he had been shot. And I was ironing clothes. That's the time when I had the kids down for a nap, I would either iron or sew. And I can picture that day. It was horrific. It was just, I can still feel how I felt to hear something happening like that in our country. It was terrible. Just like 9/11, you know. Oh, Verizon. And on Kennedy's Day, I was sick home from school wearing my winter pajamas. Oh my gosh, Chris. Isn't that funny how we just, it's just like it happened yesterday, though. You just remember, you know. And there's just a sadness that, these things, it just kind of changed everything. School that day in 1963. Yeah, you can tell I'm aging myself. Yep. In 1963, let's see, I graduated in 59 and I was 18 years old. I had my daughter in 1960 and I was 19. So I was 21 years old. Wow. I'm not sure I wouldn't want to be 21 in the way the world is right now. You won't say what grade. I pretty much think most people, if they're familiar with my channel, they know how old I am. Although, like I said earlier, I've been called a liar, so that's a compliment to me. You were in the third grade. Wow. Yeah. But time slips away. I think back, and one of my friends she passed away about a year ago, and every time I talked to her, she'd say, "Joe, how did we get here? Where did the time go?" And she was, I think, 3 years older than me. I said, "I don't know." You look in the mirror and you think, "Oh, where'd she come from?" In fact, there's a picture on Facebook, which makes you kind of sad I think when you look at it. There's this very, very elderly man looking at a mirror. And when he looks at the mirror, all he sees is this young man in uniform. Because you physically change, but unless you have Alzheimer's or dementia, the mind doesn't change. You were 1 year old. Oh my gosh, Jackie, you're a baby. Wow. That's neat. Jackie's the youngest one? Yeah, it's amazing though. Even my son, who is my youngest son's 53, and he's starting to realize that the years are going by. They go by fast when you're busy. 1960. Yeah, especially when you're busy and you're raising your family, and you don't think about that one day soon you're going to wake up and you're going to wonder where the time went, that you're old. And like I said, I'm very blessed. I don't think old. In fact, most of my friends have always been younger than me because I don't think like older people. I say if you open up your mind, you can learn something new every day. And that's how to stay young. It's like I don't know, since I'm the oldest, maybe some of you don't even remember one of the first, like personal computers was the Commodore 64. And I bought one of those, and with the book taught myself. When I worked at the hospital, we were just starting to get computers, and the nurses didn't have them, but I was also purchasing supervisor, and I didn't have one, but the front office did, and I had 2 computer classes is all. But I've worked on computers since, and I love it. Hi, Laura. It's so good to see you. I'm just doing a chit chat today. Next week I'll do my anything bags. I only remember the first Apple Tower. Yeah. Yeah, the Commodore 64 was different. But I am glad that I always was interested. I love electronics. I mean, there's good and bad with them. I don't like the bad part of social media and a lot of that, but I am on the computer every day. And I actually, at one time when I lived in Idaho for a while, I did professional job resumes. And so I did them on computer. And my husband, who died of cancer, he was a great proofreader. And actually, when I did the final resume, I had an electric typewriter with the memory, and I would print them on there. Computer math in the 9th grade. Yeah, when I went to high school, it was just typing classes. And the old typewriters, excuse me, that, didn't have the keys, just weren't as flexible as they got better as time went on. And it's funny, I didn't do that good in typing in high school, and yet when I became an adult and started with the computer, I can type pretty fast now. But you guys, you're probably, some of you, too young to remember the shorthand classes. I never used a computer. Oh, wow. I had a computer. Well, let's see. I had a computer starting in my 40s. Turned 50. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember the shorthand classes, and I didn't do real good at shorthand either. It was a class that you couldn't miss days. And I didn't get sick very often, but I did, was my freshman year of high school, and I don't remember if I got a really severe cold. I don't think it was the flu. I think it was a really severe cold, and I missed a couple of days, and I was lost after that. And the instructor had warned us the first day of class that shorthand wasn't, especially at the very beginning, it wasn't a class that you could miss the days and catch up. So I actually transferred out of there into another class. And they don't even use shorthand anymore. That's old school. When I talk about some of these things, my granddaughter thinks I'm ancient, you know. You think I came over in the Mayflower or something, which is kind of funny, actually. So your sister got a certificate in shorthand. Wow, she did really well then. Not me. I actually went into home economics, and that's always just kind of been my love. Like I said, I sewed when I was 8 or 9 years old in color when I was young. You saw in color. What? Oh, Orange Coast College. Wow. So you pretty much, Chris, have always been in Southern California, correct? Or your family has? I used to, the cell phone was the last. Now I have an iPhone 12, but my first, was the flip. And then when kids were little and I took care of them when my son and daughter-in-law went away for a few days. And when they called at night, they wanted to see, the picture of the kids. They wanted to see the kids. And my son said, "Mom, don't you think you ought to upgrade and get a new phone?" So now I went to an iPhone 12. I was in high school and I got an A. Very good. Well, it's funny. I got an A and I made dresses but we were supposed to make pants. And at that time, most of my life I've lived on a ranch. And at that time I dressed Western. And I wanted to make Western bell-bottom pants. And I still remember they were yellow and they were not linen, but kind of that type of fabric. And the instructor, she didn't want me to make those because they were not the typical, at that time. Everybody wasn't wearing bell bottoms at that time, unless they dressed Western. So she finally okayed that I could make them, but she wouldn't give me an A on them. And as I recall, they were perfect. Not bragging, but they were perfect. And how I first learned how to sew was actually, I joined the 4-H club and we had sewing and cooking. I remember I think the first thing we cooked was muffins or popovers or something. And and I think I was 8 or 9 years old. And that's my first sewing experience. And I have a long history of sewing. There was a few years that especially after my husband got sick, I just didn't sew. But now it's one of my favorite things to do. Yeah, things were very different. In every time period in the world, life has never been perfect, but it was a much better time. It was much safer time. You didn't have to worry about your children like you do now. They can't even play outside anymore. So it was just a much better time. And when I was in grade school, we didn't move off of the ranch until my freshman year in high school. My dad he had fruit ranch. And, I remember walking through the orchard and just, feeling free and safe and just a lot different. A lot different. And then when I went to high school, we lived a mile away from the high school. And if you lived that distance, you had to walk. The bus didn't pick you up. Otherwise, if it was farther than a mile, there was a bus. So I had to walk. I didn't mind unless it was raining. And I remember one day when I worked all summer to get me buy a suede jacket. It was this beautiful beige color suede jacket. And it was raining, and my dad couldn't work. He worked on a cattle ranch until that Hewlett Packard owned. And he eventually worked in maintenance in their electronic plant, their computer electronic plant. But it was raining so hard he couldn't work on the ranch. So he decided to take a nap, and I had to walk home in the rain. I was so mad. I never sassed my dad or, argued with him. But when I walked in the house and he was taking a nap, and my brand new jacket I could wear it after that, but it was never as pretty. I was so mad. I yelled at him. I said, you could have at least got up and came and got me at school. 4053 was, oh, right. Yeah, it's like Southern California, I'm sure, for the people that lived here all your life has changed. Just like I don't even recognize Northern California anymore. I don't like it, period. Where I grew up, it was all ranches. Hi, Kathy. Where I grew up, it was all fruit ranches. We had cherries, apricots, prunes, and walnuts. And like I said, my dad was a rancher, cowboy. He rode horses, and then when I married my first husband, we lived on a ranch in Idaho. So, and now I'm a city girl. And I actually, if it wasn't for my son being here, I like the weather and I like family here, but otherwise I wouldn't be here. It's too expensive to live here. I know, Kathy. It's scary. Yeah, it's totally scary. 9/11 changed everything, and it's just progressively gotten worse. But yeah, the cost of living, my rent, I got a notice a couple days ago, my rent just went up. Yeah. I've gotten I go shopping, but I don't go to the malls. First of all, don't have the money to spend. I go to the grocery store, to Walmart, Big Lots, Dollar Tree. That's pretty much. Oh, Hobby Lobby. I love Hobby Lobby. And there's a fairly new one not too far from my son's home. And it is, oh, the fabric in there is just, it's to die for. It's just absolutely fabulous. And the store is so clean. Would I go back to ranch and have horses? If I was younger. The way the world is now, I never thought I would say that I ever wanted to go back to Idaho, because we had so much snow, and I've seen 30 below zero before. But the way the world is now, I'd go back to Idaho. I could rent a house for less than I'm renting this 1-bedroom tiny apartment that's under 500 square feet. Yeah, you're right, Kathy. A lot of it is kids in school aren't being taught the true history. That's a lot of problem. That's why I bring up on Facebook about Hitler and Germany, and some of these kids think that's not real. It was real. I remember, as little as I remember World War II. It was because in Northern California, they would have the sirens, the practice sirens, and if there was some type of alert, they would turn the siren on, and you had, all the houses had dark shades, and you had to pull them down. I was like 4 years old, 3 or 4 years old, and I remember that. All that is real. And our veterans fought for our freedom, and it breaks my heart. I watch some of this stuff, and I just bawl. We have veterans out in the street that shouldn't be out in the street. And freedom is the most important thing. We may not agree with each other, but how about, let's respecting each other. And that's the thing I don't like about social media. Hi, Dawn. Good to see you. Social media has created people saying things that they wouldn't say to you to your face. They just type them in. That's the one thing. Other than that, I'm a computer person. Like I said, I've worked with computers most of my life. But social media has created some monsters. And to me, respect is so important. Yep. Yes. And I have told people on my Facebook page, I'm not going to argue with you anymore. I've given up arguing. If I don't like what you say, I'll just remove you and block. And if you don't like what I say, then feel free to unfriend me. Hi, Clarissa. Welcome. I don't get upset if somebody doesn't like what I'm saying. Just, go find another friend. But respect is the most important thing that it's like when I was growing up, my dad would not allow, and he was really strict with my brothers on this. We never called an adult by their first name. It was Mrs. or Mr. And I'm happy to see that my son and daughter-in-law are doing this. it's a respect for an adult, older people. It's a respect for each other to teach your kids manners. I'm so proud to be from California. Grew up in Winchester and the beach. But now the crime, the street, yes. Oh, it's horrible. It is horrible. What, like I said, your kids can't even play outside. It's not safe. Excuse me. My granddaughter is not allowed now to, there was an incident my son told me about. They have a Bernese mountain dog who's huge and wild, and my granddaughter is not allowed to walk or run with him anymore because some lady stopped in a car and said, "Can I pet your dog?" And my granddaughter is smart. And so when the lady parked the car, her and Roscoe ran. They weren't that far from the house. But like my son said, she either wanted to steal, because they're stealing dogs now too. Either that, the dog, or my granddaughter, and or both. So now the kids can't even walk the dog. Hi, Mary Kay. Yeah, Roscoe is beautiful. Now, I would have felt a little more relieved if they used to have his name or her name. She was a golden retriever, Sasha. Sasha was very protective, and Sasha would have attacked it. But Roscoe, I'm not sure about. Oh. Say the word liar or hate. Yes. Yeah, we should not. I try to be really careful with the word hate. The Lord doesn't want us to hate anyone. Yeah, you can't, and you have to train your kids. So, my granddaughter, who is 12, she knew. And her and Roscoe, he runs so fast. He leads, by the way. But so my son got in the car, and because my granddaughter described it, in that this lady had two dogs in the car, my son went and tried to find that car. And so it wasn't somebody who lived in the neighborhood. So that's really scary. That is totally scary. Yeah, I like watching history. Kathy, on YouTube, there's some videos like what it was like in 1950 something or 67, or I like watching documentaries too. And I watched one a few months ago on Hitler. Oh my gosh, I watched a couple of them. Thank you, Mary Kay. Yes, I pray for all the children of the world. That just, I remember driving home after I found out that, my kids can't even walk the dog. I just prayed, not only for my grandkids, but for all the kids of the world. Children should not, and children and animals should not have to go through this. They can't grow up like we did, feeling free. And we used to be able to play outside. Lassie and Bonanza. I love Bonanza. I got to see, now it's closed. Gosh, it's been closed for years, but where they filmed Bonanza. I love that show. Yeah, there's a lot of good documentaries on YouTube. And a lot about, history of the world and the country. Lassie and Bonanza. I like to watch some of those old shows. They were kind of innocent compared to what we have now. I don't have regular TV anymore. I have Roku. I generally just watch YouTube on there. I used to have Netflix, and I didn't like what some of the stuff Netflix had, so I canceled it. So I basically, you even get some news programs on YouTube now, so. That's not it, yeah. Hey, Dawn, are you still here? I wanted to ask you a question, if you are, about Blandine. I think we grew up in the best of times. Yes, we did, Kathy. Best music. Yeah. Bewitched and Jeannie. I Dream of Jeannie. Yes. Green Acres. Oh, that was a good one. That was cute, funny, silly, maybe even a little ridiculous. Yeah, we did. We grew up in a much safer, like I said, life's not going to be perfect, but it was a lot better than it is now. Petticoat Junction. Yes. A couple of years ago, I watched some of the reruns on Petticoat Junction. I think of all the reruns, my favorite is I Love Lucy show. And then my favorite was when Lucy and her sidekick worked in the candy factory, and on the belt there was too much candy, and they were putting it in their mouth and then their pockets. That was hilarious. I heard that, her son, I'm not going to talk about, the C word, but because YouTube does not like it, but I heard he was in the hospital, and I heard another rumor, and I don't know 100% if it's true, if he passed away. I don't know. And I hate to say, I don't know 100%. That's why I know Dawn is pretty close to Blandine. So that's why I thought maybe that Dawn knew. But if anyone knows, please let us know. I had heard she had another, I watched one video today, and she was having a really, really hard time. But I know in that video, her son was still alive. So someone said she had another video, but it's no longer there. So I don't know. So don't quote me, please. Oh, he passed. Oh, okay. Thank you, Rose. Okay. I will add her in the prayer group. Like I said, until I knew for sure, I didn't want to. Vixen Rose said that he passed. So I will, the video that I got watched this morning. She was having a heck of a time. She's had a horrible time since her husband passed away. And oh, did Dawn do a video? Okay, good. Okay. I checked earlier and it must have I didn't find anything. Because like I said, I didn't want to put it in my prayer angel group and then, be wrong. That would be horrible. I would just cry over that one. Oh, thank you, Mary Kay. I'm so happy you're here. Thank you for stopping by. Like I said, I knew with the 9/11 and there's, some ceremonies that I probably wouldn't get many people in, but I wanted to do this today. And next week I will have my anything bags. But yeah, it's been a good talk, and I'm so sad for Blandine. You be safe, Mary Kay. Yeah, thank you, Vixen Rose, for telling us, because like I said, I wasn't 100% sure. And I didn't want to post it on my prayer group and then be wrong. I mean, I wished I was wrong. I wish it didn't happen. I've lost a child. It's the worst. It's worse than losing a spouse or even a parent. I know what it's like. It's horrible. Oh, let's see. I think he is. I know one thing, without getting into the nitty-gritty of it because of our restrictions. I didn't monetize this one just in case what we talked about, because I'm able to monetize my own. But work on your immune system. Vitamin D, vitamin C. That is so important. I'm not kidding. I work on, I have a good immune system. And very thankful that because I just found out, I had surgery in June. And then because the hernia was so large and there was this vacant spot after it was repaired, fluid would fill up and they had to remove the fluid. And the third time the doctor removed the fluid, it got infected and I was in the hospital again. And my doctor sounded horrible. And he went and he was taking care of his patients. He went and got tested and it was negative. And I just seen him a week and a half ago. He's all recovered now, but he was negative, and then he said he couldn't get rid of his cough, so he went back again, and it was positive, and he lost 20 or 30 pounds. It was like, I was shocked when I seen him, but he was sick when he was taking care of me and other patients. So I'm very blessed that I have a strong immune system because apparently I was exposed to it. And by the way, he did have the vaccine. No, Pamela, you're right. Every parent thinks that, you should go before your kids. Yeah. And when you're in your patient, when you're in your room, I was in the surgical ward. So once we were in the room, we didn't have to wear a mask. The doctors and the staff wore a mask. But I didn't have a mask on either. But like I said, I've always had a good immune system. When I worked in the hospital and the nursing homes, I only got sick the flu one time. But vitamins are really important. We can't eat healthy enough, especially nowadays with some of the food. Vitamin C, vitamin D. Are really important. I don't know does anyone know how old Blandine's son was? That's good, Sharon. It's really, really important. Seriously. And vitamin D, you should insist that your doctor, when he does a blood workup, test your vitamin D. Vitamin D, I was shocked a couple of years ago when mine was low. I didn't learn this in nursing school, how much the vitamin D controls your body and how dangerous it is when it gets severely low. So that is really important to things like that, And Chris, I've always been careful, but I don't live in fear. Fear, do you know that I think it's every 6 seconds somebody dies from a heart attack? Heart attacks are the number one killer in this country. And stress and living in fear. Oh, that's great, Sharon. Yeah, I had mine checked so many times. Well, they checked, and I had tests, before my surgery. My surgery was a whiz. It was the infection that was terrible. And then when I was in the hospital in July with the infection, I swear they took blood, I don't know how many times a day. So, it is good to, at least once a year, everyone should have a complete blood workup. It is so important. You're not responsible for anyone around you, Chris. That's fear that's, instilled. Turn the news off. Don't listen to the news. All you can do is be careful. And I've had I wear a mask, in stores. but I will not wear a mask outside. And I've had people walk completely around me because I don't have a mask on. In fact, a lot of us now don't. But to begin with, there was only about 2 or 3. The mask makes my oxygen level go down. And so I don't wear one outside. But think about this. And I've sewed, in all my life, and I know fabrics. If you've got a mask on, and a good mask, and it has 2 or 3 layers, what doesn't go out, it can't go out. The fabric's the same on the outside. Nothing can come in. So this idea that, they've made you feel responsible, that all you can do is be careful. I keep hand sanitizer in my car when I go mail my packages or go into a store. When I come out, I use the hand sanitizer. I wash my hands when I get home. I wear a mask. Now the signs are down, that every store had a sign up before. But what always tickles me is that people in the car all by themselves wear a mask. And I chuckle every time I see it. You're by yourself. Are you afraid of your own germs? Plus, people on bicycles. So it's gone a little crazy, but I do wear my mask. And I'm careful. But all you can do is be responsible for you. And if you're sick, you don't go around people. I never did. I think maybe people were careless before, because if you're sick, why would you want to go visit anyone? Yeah, it's so weird. I just want to say to these people in the car with the mask on, what are you afraid of? Yourself? But anyway, to each his own. I just pray for him. It's all we can do. But I've learned something too. I found some mask on. I was having trouble with, like for medical, you can't wear cloth mask. You have to wear the paper ones. And at one time I was doing physical therapy for my lymphedema like 2 or 3 times a week. So I had to wear that mask for an hour. And with my allergies, it's just killing me. And the masks from China, by the way, that have a smell to them. I found some masks on Amazon that are made here in this country. It says USA. And I don't have any problem with them. They don't have that odor. And I think they were only, I don't know, $1.50, not quite $2 more, which to me were worth, and I got a box of 50. So if some of you have a problem with the mask, you might look into it. And there's some from Mexico too that I haven't had a problem with. But I don't know, the ones that come from China, something in the paper just, and like I said, my allergies, my eyes would just run and I would get a headache. And when I was going to physical therapy, it was like an hour. I cut up coffee filters between my, oh, that's a good idea. Well, when I made some, I had some special batting that was very good. It was, one side of it was nothing could get through. But you know what? I hated making the mask. I made some and I said, I know a lot of people jumped in and decided they were going to make some money making masks. And I thought, I'm not going to try to make money on something that, everybody's upset about and we all need to wear. And I wouldn't make them anymore. But that's just my personal idea. But like I said, I still wear them everywhere. I know the signs are down because if you got the you-know-what, you weren't sitting, they can't make up their mind what to tell you to do. But I wear them not because I'm afraid. It's because if they ask me if I did get the vaccine, I don't want to lie. I won't lie. So I wear it. Oh, did you? For free. That's nice. I don't use as many as now that I'm not going to physical therapy and the surgery thing's over. I don't use as many masks as I did. But with my silly allergies, I do have a problem with some smells. But there are some, the ones I got from Amazon are very comfortable. I don't have a problem with them. I know, and I get lipstick on them that rubs off a little bit, not bad with the 24-hour lipstick I wear. I've had people say they're not putting lipstick on now that they wear a mask, but I still have to have my lipstick on. Oh, I guess I'm just weird. But anyway, is there any other subjects somebody wants to talk about? Oh, you only wear eye makeup. I still wear all my makeup. The only thing I've done different since I've gotten older, I used to wear eyeshadow. And I don't wear eyeshadow anymore because, as you get older, your eyelids droop. And I felt like the eyeshadow made them even look, I don't know, makes it look older even. But I used to love the pretty blue eyeshadow. That's the only thing different I do with my makeup now that I am my age is I don't wear eyeshadow, but I wear everything else I always did. And the lipstick keeps my lips from drying. Silicone like lifters for the eyes lids. Interesting. Yeah, my eyes I noticed a difference. If you look on my Facebook page, and there's a couple of really young pictures of me, and my eyes were like a lot larger. But as we age, we do change. Guess we're like automobiles. Some parts can't be replaced. I use the Dove cream just as a moisturizer. I use it before I put this on, the foundation. Everything kind of falls. I have to say, there's one thing. I'm got small boobs. They haven't fallen. But anyway, I like this Wet n Wild. And what I like about this too, I like this part. But you know, this Dove, you get it at the Dollar Tree. And I like it. They have one it's called Beauty Cream, and they have one that it's in a blue container that's more like for night. But I don't spend, this is probably the most expensive. This is like almost $8. That stays on. I love it. And I wear red. Other lighter colors make me look, I've got such pale skin. Oh, my granddaughter does a better job than I do, Pamela. And she's got, for a 12-year-old, and she's got expensive makeup. Kids nowadays are a little different than we were. Yeah, no, she puts on makeup like a professional. She watches all the YouTubes. She does have a YouTube channel. She hasn't done much with it lately, but she's got a lot of subscribers too. But I will say she probably puts makeup on better than I do. I never wanted to change. I don't use all the other stuff. This is the way I put makeup on all my life. And for my age, I don't think my skin looks too bad. So why change now? So yeah, it's funny though, when she was really little, she liked to practice on putting makeup on Grandma. And I'd sit there and I swear, one time I ended up with a black face. I mean, I was her model. She practiced on me for a long time. But she does an excellent job. Thank you, Hetty. She does an excellent job. And she's gotten it down that it looks so, it doesn't look, like too much. At first, she had a little too much. But I told her, I said, your skin's beautiful. You really don't even need makeup. But no, she takes good care of herself. Oh, thank you, Pamela. Like I said, I'm very blessed for my age. I give all blessings, all my praise to the Lord Jesus. Basically, I put it on to blend most of it off. I said my mother at 98, when she passed away, she didn't have that many wrinkles. It was amazing. The only thing that aged her, I said, is she's never colored her hair. She was Snow White. But she was a tough lady. I think if she got MRSA, that's a really bad infection. And she would get pneumonia. And she, by the way, she had the pneumonia vaccine. But anyway, I think that's pretty much what got her. But she lived until she got sick like that, she lived by herself. I wore more makeup in high school. I didn't use eyeshadow when I was in high school. I used eyebrow pencil, mascara, lipstick, always lipstick. And I did use a foundation. Not always, because I had really nice skin. I mean, I didn't have the zits. Maybe, for a very, very short time. It doesn't say, but I use it it says for complete, Dove Beauty Cream for complete daily skin care. It's made in India. That's good to know. And I like it. In fact, I usually, when I see it, because sometimes my Dollar Tree runs out of it, I'll buy several. And it works really good. In fact, if you don't have a cold cream or something to clean your face, you could use the Dove. It'll take your makeup off too. I have tried, I used to buy years ago some of the makeup from QVC or Home Shopping. And I don't like the cleaners that you have to use water after. I don't know why I don't. I like to rinse my face after, but I don't like that you have to take the stuff off with water or cloth. But I like that Dove. Let me show you the texture of it. And it smells good. It smells good. Yeah, it's not offensive at all. Hi, Kelly. Changing up my face routine here lately. How have you been changing it up? Like I said, I've done the same thing for so many years. And you know what? If it works, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Like I said, the only thing I've omitted is eyeshadow. And that's because of my age. I've tried the retinol before. My skin is fairly sensitive. In fact, when I was in my 20s, I've never used soap on my face since I was in my 20s. I got so irritated, my skin dried out and it like cracked and bled. And I couldn't put makeup on it. I would put Vaseline petroleum jelly on it. And it took, several weeks before it all healed. And I've never used soap on my face since. So I try to be pretty careful. I've tried other things, but I've tried to be really pretty careful on what I use. That's why good old Pond's, you can buy it, what was it, about $4 or less. I think it's less than that. Yeah, you have to, everyone's skin is different, but regular, and I can't remember. It's been so many years because I was in my early 20s. I used a mild soap. It wasn't a hard soap, but I just do not use soap at all on my face. The rest of my body, it's fine. It's just my face. I can't use the soap. Baby soap. Oh, wow. Yeah, I think the secrets to good skin too is make sure you take your makeup off at night. Yeah, I like Dove soap, Petty. I also use Dove soap. Yeah, I think, if you go to bed with makeup on, it gets into your pores and And but like I said, I've been pretty blessed. Even as a teenager, once in a while my face would break out, but very, very seldom. And I don't lay out in the sun. I didn't when I was young because my skin burns real easy. And I found that if my skin burns, I don't tan really nice. It just peels after. For an Italian, I have very light skin. And plus, like I said, I have thalassemia, Mediterranean anemia, and so my skin's pale. That's why I always wear lipstick. Well, I was working in one facility, and the director of nurses, I was busy schedule too. I had a lot of patients to take care of, and my lipstick wore off because I didn't think they didn't have this 24-hour lipstick. And my boss came up to me and she said, "Joe, go put lipstick on. You look like you're dying." Yeah, laying out in the sun is not, when you're young and it looks fabulous, but you pay for it when you get old, or older, I should say. Body cream in lavender and coconut. Oh no, I will. I'm going to make me a note. I didn't know they even had that. In lavender. I like coconut. I actually like shampoos that coconut. I will see if I can find some of that. That sounds good. So Kelly, you're in your 30s, huh? You're a youngster. Yeah, I will, Deb. I will see if I can find some. I certainly like Dove. And it's not expensive. Oh, happy birthday. Wow, I can remember when I was 38. A long time ago. See, I didn't go to nursing school until I was in my 30s. I actually worked as a nurse's aide to begin with, which I think is better for people to do that before they go into nursing. Gives you some experience. I had basal cell a couple of years ago, so sunscreen is yes, it is. It is. I always try to buy makeup that has sunscreen in it too. Because now one time I remember, and it goes to show you that I always wore, the foundation with sunscreen. It was after my husband got really sick and he was using a walker, and we had rocks delivered for a certain area in our yard. And, they just put them in a pile. So I had to spread them out. And I thought, oh, this is ridiculous to put makeup on to go outside to level these rocks because I'd have to come in and take a shower. So I put some lotion on, but I didn't put my foundation on, and I got burnt. I could not believe how well this foundation works on me. And so that taught me I don't go out in the sun, especially without my makeup. Do you know what the best suncream? I don't. Oh, well, we're glad you're here and glad you told us it was your birthday. I think birthdays come too fast now. I can remember. Can you remember when I couldn't wait to turn 18? Well, I wouldn't want to be that young again, actually, but it seems like the years went too fast. Yeah, I don't know what it is now, actually, but in my time when you were 18, like I got married when I was 18 and I didn't have to have my parents' signature. You were an adult. A guy had to be 21, but at 18, you were an adult. Yeah, that's the whole thing, Chris. I was thinking about that the other day. What were the things that I would do different if we could go back and change them? And then I think, well, okay, if we got to go back, we wouldn't know what we know today. So we'd make the same stupid mistakes. You're right, Kelly. I think what I can see and being my age and looking around, it's so sad to see the insecurities of young people. How many young women will stay with a guy who physically or mentally abuses them because they feel like no one's going to love them. And God didn't make mistakes. Everyone's special. To God, everyone's beautiful. Chris, I got married when I was 18. I wish I was with and I'm the one that divorced him. I don't think I made a mistake. I think my daughter's death is what destroyed the marriage. But he didn't want the divorce, I did. And I just made it harder on my boys. So that was my mistake. But I didn't marry the wrong guy. He still is. He's about 2.5 years older than me. He's always been a hard worker and a decent guy. But I made some other mistakes. But I guess that's how we grow. Oh, no. That night, no, you're no maid. I was determined to get married young because I hated I didn't hate my parents. I just hated that they fought all the time. And didn't like some of the things my mother would say, even to my dad. So I was determined at 18 I was going to leave home, whether it's to get married or get a job. I was going to find a way. And think happens hard to let people be with you. But to me, the saddest thing is to watch younger people that don't know how wonderful they are and how valuable they are, and they think so little of themselves. And maybe I was a little that way. I was very blessed. I wasn't around people that physically abused me. But I was a little that way because I think in my family, my older brother got praised all the time, and I didn't. But I can't just blame it on to my parents. I mean, as we grow older as adults, we can change. We don't have to just say, oh, well, I'm that way because my parents. We can change, and if we can't change, we can get professional help to help us. But we all make mistakes. There isn't anyone who said in life that they haven't made mistakes. They're lying to you. I've never been married. I like to, but I feel like it will come. Yes. Yes. And Kelly, it's better if you don't force it. The right one will come to you. I think sometimes when, a person goes out looking and then they end up settling for something that maybe just because they are afraid of being alone or becoming an old maid, and they settle for less. And I think that's a shame. That I think I was a little like that, because I've been married several times. One of my husbands died of cancer. I was married to him for 17 and a half years, and we had a good marriage. But I made mistakes. We all make mistakes. That doesn't mean we're bad. Doesn't mean we're not a good person. No, and we change. Yeah. Yes. And you know what? Just because you made mistakes in your past doesn't mean, and I don't want to bring up, my beliefs, but religion or God forgives. So forgive yourself. You're right there. I think if I hadn't divorced my first husband, I would have never become a nurse. I would still be on the ranch in Idaho. And being a nurse was very rewarding. I know a few years ago, my ex-husband told me that he ran across somebody, it's a small community in Idaho. He ran across somebody that I had taken care of, and they still said, they complimented me that I was such a good nurse and gave him good care. And that's what makes all the hard work worth it. And yeah, you're right. You're not the same person at 23 as 43. You've grown. You're supposed to grow. It's sad if we stayed the same. Wow. I had a Idaho and Oregon license. Took my training in Oregon, and Idaho and Oregon had an agreement, and all I had to do is buy an Idaho license. And So I worked in Idaho, and then years later, then worked in Oregon. Yes, Kathy, that is the word. Oh, senior moment there for me. That's the word. My first husband and I, yeah, we're still friends, and he's lived with the woman for 20 something years, and we're friends. And I'm glad that she loves him and she's good to him. And like I said, losing my daughter really hurt. He was young and had a hard time dealing with it. And it was just a sad, hard situation. Um, my husband that I was married to 17 and a half years died of cancer. He had lung cancer and it metastasized to his brain. I divorced the other two and they're dead. Um, the last one I was married to I was only married to him for 5 years. And he was addicted to pornography. And I won't say any more about that. My younger son is 53. My older one is 61. Oh, wow, Kathy. My first husband, we went to the same high school, but he was older than me. Wow. That's amazing. and and I dated until I was 70 and decided that I was done. That most of the guys my age think old and I don't. And the only ones that look good to me were the young ones, and they don't want an old lady. Oh, I'm so happy for you, Kathy. God bless you. That is wonderful. But you know what? I was telling my son and daughter-in-law not too long ago, I am very happy and content. I don't get lonesome. I can do my crafts. I can do what I want. I work for my son. I have 3 beautiful grandchildren that I dearly love. And I'm in Southern California because my younger son's here. And God sent me a beautiful son. Um, and I'll tell you a little bit about when I had my first 2 kids, I only wanted 2 children. I just said 2 was enough. And then, it took me a year to get pregnant. All of a sudden, I got obsessed with I wanted another baby. And I always figured out why. God knew he was taking my daughter. And my younger son is what kept me going because he was a baby when she died. And I had to take care of him. And he's a good son. I could not survive in Southern California without him. Because the cost of living is just so high. That's why I still work. But I'm very blessed. My older son lives in Oregon, and we're not close. It's sad, but we're not close. He's a nice man, and he's kind of a loner. And I think maybe losing his sister and then the divorce kind of hurt him. And boy, you guys are learning a lot about me today. I'm motor mouth, aren't I? Yeah, you never, even at my age, they'll send friend requests. I just delete. Yeah, there's a lot of scams out there. There's a lot of scams out there, and it's scary. And before I ever, if somebody sends me a friend request, I make sure who they're friends with, and plus, it. I know somebody who's, been on, a dating site, and she's got a lot of men on hers, and I've gotten some of those, but I just delete them. Oh, those are people you've known. Oh, wow. Hmm. Wow. Well, maybe they can't figure out why you're still single. The I've always, in fact, one of my friends said, Joe, the one thing about you, you can get hurt, but you just pick up the pieces and go on. In a bad relationship, I never said, all men are that way, or um, I never blamed. I never blamed anyone. So, there's a lot of reasons. I mean, some people you can't trust. You don't want anyone like that. That there are a lot of reasons why relationships don't work out. Um, so I've never said, oh, well, I never want to, another relationship. All men are alike. No, I've always figured there is as many women who lie and cheat and are not loyal as men. So it works both ways. It's sad when people, though, they get, because they had one bad relationship. So any man that comes in their life is put in the same category. And that's sad because they're not all alike. Um, I think it's probably a lot harder these days. Things, the world's different today. That Kelly, maybe Mr. Wonderful will show up one of these days. But it's good that you're very cautious. 2 sons, one is pulmonary. Oh, Mission Viejo. Wow. I love, Kathy, that you robbed the cradle, though. That's pretty cool. The guy who I married that was addicted to pornography, he was 5 years younger than me, and it was kind of funny because he looked older than me, and he did not like that. And he would kind of talk like, I won't even describe that, but he would make comments about, since I was older, if I died first or something. And I always said age has nothing to do with it. Well, he had some heart problems and stuff. Well, anyway, I divorced him, and he started dating again, and he died 9 months later. So, you can't judge because of age. Depends on health, But anyway, like I said, it really irked him if somebody said I look young. It's a crazy world. You know that? But count your blessings every day. Even with my aches and pains, I thank the Lord that after that hernia surgery, I no longer have that pain that I had for 2.5 years. So even if I wake up with aches and pains, I don't have that hernia pain. So I'm very thankful. It always can be worse. Well, guys, I think unless there's something else you want to talk about or ask me, I'm kind of an open book today. Hey, there's my sweet friend from England. And you wanted to know about my makeup, right? I have already showed it, but I will show you real quick. I use Pond's. Cheap old Pond's you can buy at Walmart. I use Dove for a moisturizer. Oh, that's fine. I was going to get off pretty soon, but I'm glad you showed up. I use this for a foundation. I don't spend a lot of money on, I love this. I don't spend a lot of money on makeup. I think sometimes you pay for the brand. My lipstick now, I love this. It's 24 hour and it is red. Oh, I'm so glad you're here, Kelly. I'm glad you have liked this talk. I think, you know what? I think when we get to know each other, we wouldn't be so hard on each other and so judgmental sometimes. This is a mascara that I don't spend a lot of money on. I use the blush. Let's see, I use that one and then this on powder. Yes, I remembered. Thank God I still have a good memory. Anyway, I don't spend a lot of money on makeup. I wore makeup, oh gosh, since I was 14 years old, I think. But I found it's hard when yes, Pamela, you might go into my Josie Cares channel. And I do some grieving. In fact, on this channel, I started off doing some grieving videos. Then I decided to separate them because that's a more serious channel. And then now this one's monetized, so I kind of have to be careful what I say. But anyway, it's hard. I think when you lose a child, it's one of the hardest things. And I've done some memorials on my daughter. I do one a year on her birthday. She was born on Memorial Day. Oh, good, Kelly. Thank you. Anyway, like I said, I was saying I'm jumping around in subjects. On the makeup, English Rose, I don't spend a lot of money. Like I said, I think sometimes you're paying for the brand. And I've tried more expensive ones, but my budget living in Southern California is kind of pathetic. And I am hoping to get my creative stuff really going so I can, the jewelry auctions were helping, but I completely got burnt out selling jewelry. I've done it for almost 3 years now. And I still have some on eBay, and I've done eBay for so many years. I'll continue. But I just kind of got burnt out. There's so many people doing jewelry, and I've witnessed so much drama. I don't want drama in my life anymore. It's not worth it. And that's why, sometimes some of these talks I think are really good, even if we get a little personal, because when we get to know each other, we won't be so judgmental, and we're all guilty of that. I'm not saying I'm just this pure person. I try to be a good, live the life that Jesus wants me to live, but I've certainly made mistakes. So like I said, I think when we get to know each other, it helps. When you meet somebody just on a live stream or, in an auction, you don't really get to know them. And sometimes, especially, I've seen people fighting over silly costume jewelry, which just blows my mind. If they lose a bid, they get upset and mad. That's stupid. Excuse my expression, but it's plain stupid. So I think this time in the world right now, I think we need to drop the drama. I'm done with the drama in my life. I have said it on Facebook. If somebody doesn't like what I say, I'm not going to argue with you. Just unfriend me or I'll unfriend you. And it's not worth fighting. It's just, I'm done. So, you never use makeup, but you watch Selena. Oh yeah, she's an expert on makeup, but she doesn't wear makeup every day. And I don't think she would want to spend that. I mean, it takes her over an hour. Just an update. I grew up in OC, but always visited a family in San Antonio. Oh, wow. Wonderful. Family in Texas. That is neat. See, you get to meet people and really know something about them when we talk like this. Selena does an expert job, and it looks beautiful on her. I learned to do my makeup quick. I was being a nurse, and I had 2 kids to take to the babysitter, and I wore makeup every day. I didn't have but 10 minutes to put my makeup on. So that's my routine. I don't use the enhancers and all that stuff. Like I said, I am blessed that for my age, I have pretty good skin. Yeah. I'm showing my age. I know that. Oh no, you're fine. I am. I just don't want anyone getting bored. I don't want anyone getting bored, and I'm glad my friend Selena named her English Rose, since her name is so hard to pronounce. And we just sold my parents' retirement ranch. Oh, really? Oh, wow. I liked living on a ranch. My kids each had a lamb, and I've always been not the outdoor person, but I have ridden a horse before. But just the atmosphere, and your kids could play outside without worrying. It's a different life. But anyway, I've enjoyed this today. Like I said, hopefully you've gotten to know everyone on here, not just me. I've talked a lot. But I think it's good, like I said, just to get to know each other. And just once in a while, just talk instead of having an auction and trying to sell things. Anyway, I hope next week, oops, Next week I will have the anything bags. Your kids had a lamb each. My first two kids, yeah. My daughter and my older son. Hi, Pam. So good to see you. Yes, I've actually stayed longer than I thought. I was motor mouth over here. I think they learned a lot about me. We've had a good talk, though. I am glad you. I was going to get off in a few minutes. Have a blessed weekend. Okay, thanks, everybody. And I want to thank you all for sticking with me, staying in here. And I appreciate each and every one of you. And if you have time, go watch my videos. And I used to tell anyone on my sales, I don't expect you to buy all the time. And if you can't ever buy, if you watch my videos and watch the advertisement, that's how you get paid on eBay, is when you watch the ads. And that is just as important for me than you buying from me. So God bless all of you. Keep safe, and we'll talk soon. And I'm going to go in my prayer group and ask for prayer for Blandine. So God bless everyone. Bye.